NSFW, males of Reddit, what's the worst part about having a dick? When you finish peeing and put your dick back in your pants, but then more pee comes out and stains your pants. No matter how much you shake and dance, the last few drops end up in the pants. It has a mind of its own, and it will do as it pleases. You got two heads, but you should only listen to one. I mean, the other one is living with two nuts. And the guy around the corner is an asshole. And his hair is a mess. Not to mention its best friend is a pussy. Boners. I've had to explain to a lot of women that we don't have control of our boners. And they don't necessarily mean we are turned on. Men can get boners from exercising, getting excited, getting nervous, etc. Yay, an alarm going off, a breeze rolling in, Bruce Willis dying in a movie, eating a grape, etc. Trying to contain it on the underwear when he's happy. You sees hot girl, boner, raises head. You, what is it, buddy? Quote, boner, barks. You, nobody. You can't take her puppy's chew toy. Boner, whimpers. That's right, you have a dog named Boner. Okay, now I'm imagining things. Peeing with an erection. I'll raise you peeing after sex. Complete gamble on what direction your piss will go. Sometimes it goes completely sideways for absolutely no fucking reason. This is Reddit. Too much to assume most of us have had sex to know what this feels like. I was following this yoga routine and couldn't complete one of the poses because it literally squished my balls. I know this is a dick thread, but you can't leave out the nuggets. Boners for no reason. Excited. Boner. Bored. Boner. Watching something non-sexual. Boner. Just walking around the office and trying to do your job. Guess what? Boner again. Bone her. When you sit down to poop and it touches the stall. We call that a witch's kiss. When you pee, sometimes the slit fuse shut and peeing is like putting your thumb on a garden hose. Some goes over there. Some goes over here. The dreaded split stream. Aim one at the toilet and clean up the other after. This is why it's good to pee after you cum. So you can clear out any residue and it doesn't cause this later. When our balls stick together or to the leg in hot weather and we have to fix them in a way that makes it seem we aren't just touching out junk. Lestrange leg poses has arrived. It will make you make very bad decisions, all for a few spasms. I knocked up my ex-wife 1 month after our divorce was final. Cut it off. Getting it stuck in a zipper. Franken beans. Penis inspection day at school. Or at the uncle's. Our church. It sometimes falls right off and sucks to twist back on. Back in puberty. Random erections. Having to lie to your hormone-controlled guy friends about your dick size. Your backpack or books were your best friend. Concealed boner position or CBP. Being honest about the size is one conversation that's oddly good at bonding people. By the way, first guy to admit he's in the lower double digits will relieve everyone else. If ever a post needed to specify units, it's this one. The mental anguish or concern of, is it big enough for your partner? I don't, because I'm assured that the answer is no. Honestly, dick size is generally, and when I say generally I mean 97% of the time, just something men care about to impress other men. The other 1% are when it's way too small, like a micro penis, which happens in 0.6% of men, or is too large with less than 3% over 8 inches. Either way, with those two extremes you're gonna have trouble getting a woman off. And that's when she'll be concerned. The allure of stabbing a woman's cervix isn't exactly one that most women have, so you're not really missing out on fulfilling a fantasy here. Most women will tell you you have a big dick if you're average-sized but good in bed. Or they'll say, oh, it was small if you're still the same size but can't get them off. So if you're worried about satisfying her, that's great. But focus on her, not your dick size, because trust me, that shit really doesn't matter once her eyes roll back in her head. The fact that it's so small that I practically have a vagina. It literally goes up inside me when it's not hard. And sometimes I piss on myself when I shit because it's not long enough to actually go into toilet. The fact that you would actually say this takes some nuts. I commend you, sir. Have you tried those pills from the gas station? Having to deal with the bleeding every month. This is the equivalent to men going to our true femcells and saying, as a man, holy hell, that sub is a cesspool. It's not very comfortable in that it's sensitive and gets in the way of sitting, walking, exercise in general. It's probably pretty similar to the discomfort women who have large breasts experience minus the back pain, but with added itchiness. Sorry to bust your bubble, but large boobs get itchy in the worst places too. Sad face. Pubes getting caught in foreskin. You know you can trim that jungle? Or go to the deli and slice the meat. How it can make absolutely terrible decisions seem worth it up until the second it's all over. Then the post-nut clarity kicks in and leaves you going, OMG WTF did I just do? Quote. And then you do the stupid thing again. You get so caught up in the excitement of hell yeah this is gonna happen, that it takes a fucking of discipline to have the capacity to even ask yourself in the moment if it should happen. Pre-nut opacity is a wild ride. Theon Greyjoy has left the chat. It makes decisions for me that I really ought to make myself. It's like a motivational speaker that doesn't understand the consequences. Sitting on your own balls. I'm assuming here that if you have a dick, you also have balls. Sometimes you get so hard it physically hurts, and it's always at an awkward time too. Seeing this question come up every few weeks. It's just a dick, dangling there being an ugly weird appendage that feels good when you put it in things. It is not best or worst, it just is. But the internet hates me for sitting in a way where my junk isn't being crushed. Yeah, so I thought manspreading was the new thing and was actively conscious not to it and all. Then I realized how Reddit really represents such a negligible minority of the human population and acts like such an echo chamber that it makes you think 90% of people are hating on something currently, when in reality it's more like less than 1% and most probably not anyone you know in real life. That it is our Achilles heel. When you gotta adjust it but you're in public, say if you reach down there and someone sees you look like a perv or something. So many times could a potentially embarrassing stiffy have been fixed with an upward tilt so it's going up and flat instead of pointing out. But you can't do it. It won't even take 5 seconds either. But you just can't do it in case one person sees. Having a tight foreskin and having it split during rough sex. Think about when you get a cut in the corner of your mouth and how much that hurts. Now imagine that on the end of your dick. 35-yo male with dick for what it's worth. When I was younger, like 18, I had tight foreskin. And what helped me rid myself of it was practicing getting an erection, then pulling the skin down on the head of my dong until it was stretching it, like borderline uncomfortable but not horrible. And then maintaining the erection and stretch of the skin for a decent period of time. Did this over a number of weeks and it went away. Fair play. I just went straight into the deep end and got circumcised at 21. The 2-3 weeks of recovery were the worst. But I haven't looked back. How sensitive the tip is when putting on underwear or something. When the morning wood is a bit too much and it starts to hurt. That's why I play with mine to exhaust it and calm it down. Except some people choose to beat and abuse it, hence the term, beat your meat. Girls don't go too crazy for a dick pic. When a girl sends a pic of her ass, tits are usually pussy. Men go wild. Too bad there's not much a guy can send to satisfy a female. Girls usually enjoy a man's dick more in person. So not many of them enjoy the dick pic. Tell her something kind. Face pics. A guy having a good time pics. How doing dishes or cleaning. If a guy has nice eyes. A dick pic is like to me if a guy showed me his tooth or a toe or that one random nose hair. It's kinda gross and I don't know what to do with it. Besides, as a woman I like to love all of my man's body. Not just his dick. So if we equate it to how a guy imagines the things he's gonna do to that girl's tits or ass or pussy, Then remember, girls have an imagination too. I'm thinking about what he's gonna do with those hands or mouth, or how is he gonna look at me with those sexy eyes. Or I'm thinking about what I'm going to do to his body. It's constant need for attention. It likes to get beaten up a lot. Having something between my legs when I have to sit in a tighter than comfortable or want to lay in certain positions. Zippers. Zipped it up once 25 years ago, still haunts me to this day. The thought of that happening to me made me cringe excessively. Take my upbeat. Having erections all the time. It doesn't matter the time of the day, the location and stuff. I swear it's like it has a mind of its own. Is the most annoying thing. Doing what it's smart, or doing what you want to do because you are horny. Alessia, you will never read this, but I'm sorry. Let's talk again. It has been 2 years. RIP. It speaks a different language than me. Forgetting it at home when you go out on the weekends. It's never comfortable. It can be, but if we're going commando. PP get hard. Source? Ask your mama. I hope you noticed the username. The morning wood makes it impossible to sleep in. The balls that come with it. Having a dick is fine. It's the balls that cause most of my woes. Nothing sucks more than sliding into your car and crushing a nut between your thigh and the seat of your car. You always see small dick bad, big dick good, everywhere you go. I always feel like I'm not big enough. Just like some prefer flat-chested over big bazonked. Some women prefer small over big, and most reasonable women don't care at all. Having a dick and being tall is really the worst. I'm 6'2" and I live in a world where everything is made for people that are 5'8", so all things pointy are at crotch height. This 6'4" is even worse. Aiming at the toilet was much easier as a kid. It gets hard sometimes. This one blew my mind. The unrealistic beauty standards. I have type 2 diabetes, and for some reason I get horrible yeast infections under my foreskin, which gives me horrible phosmosis and balanitis. My foreskin swells and becomes unretractable, and tears rips during sex. I'm now constantly having to get prescriptions refilled for fluconazole to treat the yeast infections on top of a bacterial cream I need to get under my foreskin with a QTIP. While on top of that, a topical steroid cream to untighten my foreskin. Realistically takes 10 to 25 days to somewhat go back to normal. I'll have a good month worth of good dick time. Then it's back to the same shit. Heavily debating adult circumcision at this point. Hygiene isn't an issue, neither is an STD. Diabetes sucks, kids. I feel your pain. Not diabetic. Recently tested, but prone to yeast infections. The itch, swelling, tearing, and sometimes smell you can get when it's really bad. I'm seriously considering getting a circumcision. What do you expect us to say? The pain. It has its own brain. It does. Thanks to Robert Hooke for the discovery. Erections come and go like the flip of a switch, and I feel bad for my GF who has to deal with it if, for example, we're spooning. Why feel bad? I love to feel that inevitable throb behind me so I can reach around and have some fun. My girlfriend has a bigger one. What goes up must come down. When the unholy stars align, peeing while in a rush, then mismanaging your zipper. When your dick slips between your boxers and your leg. Boxer briefs are much nicer than just boxers emo. Things tend to stay put much better. My little brother, always one step ahead of me whether I make contact with the women, such a dick. Taking a piss and it comes out from 2 different angles. One strand of your piss could be on the wall and the other in the toilet bowl. Completely unpredictable when it happens. When you get hit in the nuts, it deals +3748 DMG and psychic damage to any other male in a 5-foot radius. We struggle with erectile dysfunction, penis size, pre-ejaculation, dick cancer, sweat, pee stuck on tip making underwear wet, awkward boners, and more. You women get upset about having a bit of blood come out your cooch every month. Try being us for a day. Bish coochie bleeding hurts like hell. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.